addition to melt, there is another function that can help us transform the data from wide to long, the wide to long function. Let's see the following data frame. We can see that the names of some columns are similar. There are 2 columns that start with age and 2 with weight. Those columns are the same variable but for different years. If we would like to transform it to a long data frame like the one we see in the slide, we cannot do it with melt. We need another function, the wide to long function. Notice that this is a pandas function and not a data frame method. This function takes several arguments. The first one is the data frame we want to transform. The next one is the stub names argument. With it, we can specify the prefix, which is how the names of the wide columns start. In our example, we know our columns start with age and weight. The J argument tells pandas how we want to name the column that contains the suffix or the end of the wide columns. In our case, we call it year. Finally, the I argument takes the column or list of columns we will use as unique identifiers. In our case, it's the name. Notice that this column will be the index of the long data frame. Let's see an example. We have the following dataset. We will apply wide to long function, passing in the books data frame, telling pandas our columns have the prefix ratings and sold, and that we want to call the new column with the suffix year, and that the title column should be the unique index. We can see in the output our new long data frame. Now, title and year are indexes, while the columns rating and sold contain the values for each year. It is important to mention that if we have a data frame with a name index as you see in the example, and we apply the wide to long function, the resulting data frame will not keep the original index. If we want to keep it, we modify the original data frame by resetting the index without dropping it, and then apply the transformation including the new column. As we can see in the output, the title is now part of the long data frame. This new data frame is very similar to the previous one, but the name of the columns contains an underscore between the prefix, rating or sold, and the suffix, the year. If we apply the transformation as before, we'll get an empty data frame. This happens because pandas doesn't recognize the name of the columns. It is always assumed that the prefix is immediately followed by a numeric suffix. To overcome this, we can use the sep argument. We specify that the separator element is an underscore. Now, pandas understands that the prefix ratings or sold is separated by an underscore from the year and returns the correct data frame. Finally, if the names of the wide columns do not end in a number, like in the data frame you see in the slide, and we apply the same transformation as before, we'll get an empty data frame, since pandas assumes the suffixes are numeric. To solve this, we use the suffix argument. We pass the following expression, \w+. This expression indicates to pandas that the name of the column ends in a word. Now, pandas recognizes the names of the columns and the correct data frame is returned. You have learned about using the wide to long function. It's time to practice.